The moment has arrived. This is the part they never warn you about. We're now in the final phase of the Mercury Retrograde, and most people aren't ready for what's about to take place. This is not a gentle landing. The last 24 hours before Mercury stations direct are the most chaotic, energetically unstable part of the cycle. You've heard of Mercury Retrograde, but no one talks about the hangover. The retrograde might end tomorrow, but if you don't handle what's still open now, you drag it all with you. And here's where it gets real. What you do today, what you say, what you commit to, what you avoid, doesn't just disappear when Mercury goes direct. It gets locked in and carried forward into the next energetic chapter. That's why there are certain things you must do before this retrograde ends, because if you don't, you'll feel the consequences ripple for weeks. And there's one specific emotional reaction that might hit you out of nowhere today. And if it does, don't ignore it, because I'll explain the hidden reason behind it. I'll go over it later, so stick around. But first, there's something else you've been told that just isn't true. And if you don't see it for what it really is, you might waste this entire window of transformation. Mercury retrograde was never meant to break you, it was meant to expose you. Most people think Mercury retrograde is some kind of curse, a cosmic punishment. But what if that's a lie? What if it's actually the most sacred audit of your life? This isn't about surviving the chaos. It's about witnessing where the chaos shows up in you and doing something about it. This retrograde showed you where you speak before listening, where you avoid truth, where your boundaries still bend. That wasn't an attack, that was a mirror. And now you're standing at the edge of something powerful, the moment before it ends. This is your chance to lock in your new standard. The fear? That's just noise. The real power is in choosing who you are on the other side of it. You were never meant to avoid chaos, you were meant to master it. Here's something no one ever tells you to do at the end of Mercury retrograde. Make a mess. On purpose, like literally. Go create symbolic disorder. Throw your clothes on the floor. Scribble absolute nonsense in a notebook. Unfold every piece of laundry. Spill water on the floor. Then clean it. Calmly, with focus, with presence. Why? Because this is more than a quirky task. This is a spiritual ritual. We've been programmed since we were kids to fear mistakes, to fear being messy, to fear being wrong. But right now, in these final retrograde hours, you're invited to recode that narrative. When you create chaos on purpose, you tell the universe, I am not afraid. I know how to restore harmony. I remember who holds the brush. This act of controlled disorder speaks louder than affirmations. It's proof. It's energy in motion. It's a message. I don't fear misalignment. I know how to return to center. And that's exactly what this retrograde has been about. You facing the chaos within. You choosing not to panic, but to organize it, to cleanse it, to shape it. Because if you don't learn to hold chaos gently, it will hold you tightly, and not in a good way. Now that you've proved you can balance what's wild, the real test begins. The veil isn't closed, the lights aren't off. You're not alone tonight. As we move into the final hours before Mercury stations direct, there's something else happening. Something you can't see, but you can feel if you're quiet enough. You are being watched. Spiritually, energetically, intuitively, not in a creepy way, in a cosmic way. Your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, they are here, hovering close, paying attention to your moves, your thoughts, your reactions, not to punish, but to assess. They're watching. What did you learn? What did you avoid? What did you break? And what did you rebuild? Because right now, they are deciding what unlocks for you next, what blessings you're ready for, what timelines you've earned access to. This is not random. This is a sacred checkpoint. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being aware, present, conscious of your power. So tonight, act like your highest self is standing beside you. Because they are. Speak like someone who knows their words have energy. Think like someone whose thoughts shape reality. Move like someone being scanned for alignment. You just need to show up like the version of you that already knows who they are becoming. This night is a mirror. The reflection will become your next path. Some words are tied to windows, and this one is closing. There are certain things that only work when said at the right time. And whether it's fate, alignment, or something deeper, that time is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when it's convenient. Tonight. Mercury Retrograde has had many of us holding back. Words trapped in the throat, feelings buried under logic, decisions suspended in silence. But what most people don't know is this. The end of Mercury Retrograde creates a golden hour for expression, and that hour is almost gone. If there's something you've been dying to say, don't overthink it. Maybe it's a truth you've swallowed too many times, a message you wrote and erased, or a confession you've been rehearsing but never releasing. This is your moment. If you don't say it now, it will echo inside you louder than if you just said the wrong thing. Not everything needs a perfect script. Some things need release. And spiritually, silence becomes a weight when it's held too long. This isn't about impulsiveness. It's about alignment. And right now, the skies are cracking open, giving you a rare, raw, cosmic permission slip to let the truth fly. Say what's been sitting in your soul, to someone, to yourself, to the universe. Because if you don't, that unspoken energy may lock into your next cycle like a ghost that won't stop knocking. Speak tonight, before the silence swallows it whole. What you dropped wasn't a failure, it was a seed waiting for new light. Mercury Retrograde is notorious for disruption. It makes people second-guess their spark, question their plans, and delay things that once felt exciting. But that doesn't mean what you let go of was wrong. Retrograde doesn't kill what's meant for you, it just pauses it, distills it, makes you prove you actually want it. And now, before Mercury shifts direct, you have a rare chance to look back and ask, what did I abandon too soon? Maybe it was the post you didn't publish, the business idea you parked halfway through, or even a conversation you planned to have, but never did. Now is the time to bring it back into your field and feel it again. Does it still call to you? Does it feel alive? Or has the energy completely shifted? The universe pauses the music so you can decide which song is still worth dancing to. This isn't about forcing old timelines. It's about recognizing what still holds a charge, what still belongs to your becoming. Pick one thing you dropped during retrograde. Revisit it with fresh eyes. If it sparks something real, don't wait for the stars to align again. Move with it now. Because when Mercury hits play again, you want to already be in motion. What you touch today becomes your reality tomorrow. This is the one thing that locks in everything. We're in the wet cement moment. What you touch now, your thoughts, your actions, your energy, is what's going to harden once Mercury shifts direct. This is a moment of spiritual crystallization, and most people, they're sleepwalking through it. The last 24 hours of Mercury retrograde aren't the end, they're the imprint. So here's the truth. If you pour your energy into resentment, chaos, passive scrolling, or low vibrations right now, that's what sets the tone for your next cycle. Not because you're being punished, but because this window locks in your frequency. But the flip side, that's where it gets powerful. If you focus on clarity, touch your intentions with presence, clean up your mental space, speak your goals out loud, meditate on your worth. You are literally wiring your next chapter with conscious intention. Light a candle, write the idea, revisit the plan, have the conversation, touch the object that represents your growth. Speak to the future version of you as if they're already here. Everything you physically or emotionally touch today is a vote for your next reality. Don't let it slip into autopilot. Don't treat today like a throwaway, because tomorrow, the door closes, and the energy you embodied will begin to unfold like a seed that you planted, whether you meant to or not. So touch wisely, choose consciously. This is how timelines are built. Crying doesn't mean you're breaking. It means something old finally broke loose. Remember when I said there's one specific emotional reaction that might hit you today and that it's actually a good sign? This is it. There's something different about today's emotions. It's not just moodiness or stress. It's deeper, like your body is holding on to something invisible that's trying to rise to the surface. You might be walking through your day just fine, and then suddenly, there it is. A lump in your throat, a heaviness behind your eyes. You can't explain it logically, but something in you knows it's time to let go. This isn't random sadness. This is movement. The final hours of Mercury Retrograde stir the deepest layers of your emotional body. Think of it like an energetic rinse. What hasn't been dealt with comes loose. Not to punish you, but to release what you were never meant to carry forward. The tears that show up now don't need a clear storyline. They don't need a reason to be valid. If they appear, it's because something is leaving. And the more you try to hold it in, the louder it becomes. Physically, emotionally, even spiritually. Your nervous system is trying to exhale something that your conscious mind might not even remember storing. And when that pressure gets released, when it flows, your entire timeline gets lighter. That's why the crying today feels different. It's not just emotional, it's spiritual. It's your system rewriting itself. You might cry for something you thought you already healed, or for a moment you didn't even realize hurt you. You might feel waves of memory, confusion, even peace afterward. That's the process completing itself. Letting those tears move through you isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's your body saying, we're done with this part. Because what's coming next can't be built on repressed energy. The cycle ahead needs space to breathe, and right now, that space is being cleared. So if it happens, if you feel it bubbling up, don't fight it, don't label it, let it wash over you like a message being carried out to sea. Every tear that leaves your body takes a story with it. And the fewer old stories you carry into tomorrow, the more room there is for new ones to begin. Tomorrow isn't just a new day. It's your energetic launch pad. When Mercury finally stations direct, it doesn't just flip a switch in the sky. It initiates a shift in momentum you can feel in your bones. You might not see fireworks, but your energy field will know the difference. The current starts to move forward again, and whatever you're holding in your mind, your body, and your space will start moving with it. This is where things either get carried forward or left behind. That's why tomorrow morning isn't just another Monday. It's the energetic first impression of your next chapter, and most people will wake up and scroll past it. They'll stumble into the day distracted, caught in yesterday's pace, not realizing the spiritual gravity of the moment they've just stepped into. But not you. Because if you've been feeling the pressure, the inner stirring, the emotional chaos of the last few weeks, it wasn't meaningless. It was preparation. It was life slowing you down just enough for you to see what needed to change, to shift, to finally click into place. And now, tomorrow is your entry point. So move like you mean it. Not perfectly, not with some forced confidence, but with a quiet knowing that your energy matters, because it does. What you think tomorrow morning will leave a fingerprint. What you choose to give your time to, even in the smallest way, sets off a ripple. Because what's about to ripple won't just shape your path, it might reveal it. And once you see it, there's no unseeing it. Are you ready for what's on the other side? If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.